The next thing you can do, now you've got the basic concept of what the train track's going to be like. We're going to put in a siding here. We're going to have truck transports, prime movers with containers on it that will be loaded onto the train supposedly. So we're now going to, as you can see, I've taped up the area that I want to paint. I'm going to paint this area first before I lay the track. It makes it a lot easier than trying to paint around the track later. We're trying to simulate a loading yard so I'm going to be painting this part black to simulate bitumen. I'll show you what happens. That'll give you the basic idea of what I'm doing. I'll finish this section off and then show you the next bit. As you can see, we've done the painting. It's just now it'll take a bit of time to dry. So these are the areas we've looked at. And it's time to take a break, have some smoke out and let this dry. Be back shortly. Hi, back again from smoke out. It was a good break. We're now about ready to start. The paint we put down before is nearly dry, or very close to being dry. So we can now start laying the inside of our inside track. Another little technique you can use where you've drawn the radiuses and you want to maintain a constant gap of 30 mil between the sleepers is just cutting a sample block of 30 mil wide. By putting the block against the track, that positions the track parallel with a 30 mil gap all the way around. As you can see, you can slide the block very easily between the track and hold it in place. Well, we'll start assembling this track. You can see here by using two 30 mil blocks and positioning them across from where the nails on the outside track is drilled, it gives you a perfect parallel distance between the two tracks, and you're creating the same radius as the outside track. It's then a simple process of drilling the hole, putting in a nail, and going to the next piece, the next section. This is approximately where the joint of the other one is. So holding the block in place again, drill the hole and place the nail. The track is now held in exactly the same radius as the outside one, but a 30mm spacing. You can also see here at the end of the track that there's a stagger in the lengths of track again. I will now demonstrate again cutting with the grinder to square this point up. I haven't nailed the track off yet, as again we will connect the two of them together and do a temporary test with the carriage. I will now try and show you the technique of using the grinder to cut the track. You have to have a steady hand to do this. As you can see, it went through very fast and very easily, with no trouble. The only issue is that keep your hand still. You can now see the track being cut square, ready to start the new length. We have the joiners already in place. As you can see, with the file pointing to the joint of the track is very, very little to be noticed when it's done properly. As you can see, I haven't finished nailing it yet, but it's just a demonstration when you cut it square what it turns out. When you're using the spacer blocks to position the inside track, I find it easy enough to line up the nails on the outside track and drill the inside sleeper of the track first. That means you're not trying to get the drill in beside the spacer block. You can put a single nail in there which will hold the track in place. And when you've nailed off all those little nails, you can then go along and drill the outside of the sleepers. So it's a simple process of putting the block, moving the track as required, as you can see it's moving, and then drilling the hole in the inside sleeper. Again, I will position this and do a test with the carriage before I finish it nailing it off. If you do this, it allows you to adjust it if it needs to be adjusted. So working through now, it's a simple process of drilling the nail holes. We've now finished tacking the inside track on the inside sleepers to do the test with the carriage. I've now put the stoppers in place. We'll see how it runs. Looks about perfect to me. The only reason the carriage come off over there was because there was a nail sticking up I hadn't finished nailing off. But that's not a problem. I'll put it back on this way and go the other way to do another test. Looks pretty good to me. What do you think? I will do a close-up shot with the camera now and hope to show you what the finished connection should look like. I've put a pair of pliers on the table to point at the main track joint, and now you'll see the plastic joiners between the 2 points. As you can see, it looks like it's part of the normal track. If you can achieve this, you've done very well. But that's the ultimate game, to get that sort of a joint. As you can see, I've rotated the table on my workbench. I'm now going to start laying the continuation of the outside track first to complete the circuit. Processes we discussed before are exactly the same. It's now just a matter of joining the track up to make a continuous loop. There's a bit of music in the background to work to and it's now midday, 12 o'clock. I will finish doing the two connecting tracks, and I will time it to see how long it takes to finish the nailing off and fitting the tracks. This will give you an idea of time factor on what it takes to actually build this train set. Something I nearly forgot to do when I was talking to you before, of nailing off the rest of the track. I've now completed that process. What I like to do as a test, you can run your hand across the track as such. You will soon know when you've missed a nail or not. You will feel it. You won't cut your hand up, but you will feel that the nail's not been the right place. Just an important thing to remember. I'm now going to go back to finishing off the rest of the table. Hi, back again. Just finished laying the outside track as a complete circuit, and with a temporary control unit, I can now demonstrate the electrical continuity by making good joints. You can now see the train driving around the track. There hasn't been any wiring done yet, but this is just a couple of jumper cables to electrify the track. As you can see, it working fine. To finish the outside loop took about an hour, so there's probably another hour's work to finish the inside loop, and so far I've spent 2 days working on the track laying project. That'll give you some idea on the time involved in this process. And remember, the table was already pre-made and was already cork tiled, so there's extra time required to make the table for your set. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? I've finished laying both tracks now. Both in and outside tracks are complete. I will now show you, by just on jumper wires, electrical continuity that I can drive the train from one track to the other. It's on the outside track at the moment. When it goes around the other area, you will see it change tracks to the inside track. I have not put any wires on the track yet whatsoever to wire the rest of it up. It just shows you how, if you make good contacts, you'll have electricity going through the track very efficiently, as you can see.